Wow, this movie sucked. Hey, it's the MYCRO, you already know. So just the other day, I went ahead and I watched Jujutsu Kaisen 0, and my first impressions are, wow, this movie's really ass. This is not a formal review. I didn't write anything for this video, so I'm just gonna be talking off the dome because I'm nasty like that. So let's go ahead and talk about what I didn't like and what I liked about this movie. All right, let's get started. The animation. The animation's just what you'd expect from MAPPA. It's pretty good. Now, what we got from MAPPA before, this is nothing special. MAPPA has done phenomenal work with, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1, and that stuff looked really good. But when I watched this movie, I'm like, where is, the spectacular stuff? Where is the crazy stuff? I think the one moment I really did like was when Gojo was kind of doing the hand-to-hand against that guy. I thought that was the only cool part of the whole film. But, it looked good to MAPPA's standard, but at the same time, I didn't feel like I was getting what I paid for. As for the fights were good, but they felt very generic. They didn't feel so fleshed out, and every fight that happened, I didn't feel rewarded for the fight that I just watched. It felt really rushed, The voice acting was pretty good. I'm gonna give it that much, but the story, I could see why this was scrapped. This story is probably the worst shonen story to date. Now, it's really cute to see that this guy, he was gonna marry this girl and then she turned into a curse, whatever. We saw this a million times in other shonens. What are you talking about? It's a good thing he scrapped it because this story, if it made it into the final cut, it would have not sold. This was one of the worst stories you could have told in shonen. Good thing they scrapped it because it would have not made the company any money. It would have been a complete flop. Every time this guy fights, he's always thinking about his girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. It's the same stuff over and over again, and there's no different motive for this guy. He's always scared. He's always a wimp. He always thinks about his girlfriend, and they reuse the same backstory 3 times. Oh my god. It's just a typical, oh man, I lost the person that I loved, and now it's affecting me. Oh no. Typical stuff. Not that great, to be honest. The story went too fast. It was like an hour and 40-minute movie, and so because of that, it just felt too rushed. Everything felt too rushed. It felt like things were happening too fast. The fight scenes ended too early. Everything was just terrible. And the conclusion was one of the worst conclusions I ever seen in my life. Wow. Oh my god, she dies and she just fades away and the curse is now broken. Whoop-de-doo. Oh my god. I just can't believe this is accepted, It's just not great. Jujutsu Kaisen was a flop. It was not good. Look at the sales. It didn't do anything. As for the characters are the same, Don't get to see Itadori Yuji, Fushiguro, and Kurosaki, or whatever her name is. But you do see some little differences with the voice guy. The voice guy looks a little bit different. And yeah, and Maki, I guess, looks a little different as well. But the characters are, just some, run-of-the-mill shonen characters. And Maki was one of the worst ones because she just inserted herself into the narrative. You literally saw the main character sitting alone, and then Maki came out of nowhere. It was like, don't you want to ask me about my backstory? Typical shonen stuff. Was definitely not good. Anyway, I would rate this show one of the worst shonens I ever watched. 4 out of 10. It really did not capture me as a consumer. I watch better shows, I watch better things, I read better manga. And if you watched this Jujutsu Kaisen 0 and thought it was okay, if you thought it was good, fine, all the power to you. You can like what you like. But for me personally, this movie was a really rushed mess that was definitely just fan service for the fans that read Jujutsu Kaisen, the prequel chapters before they, the rough drafts. This is definitely a rough draft. And if you like the show, fine, like it, I don't care. But this movie sucked for me and I hated it. And if you like it, then you're an asshole too. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification for weekly anime content. I make anime-related things and I make Dragon Ball-related things. And with that being said, I'll see you guys later. I'm Adi Patati. See you.